Charlie Kraiger tells us ordinary people make the biggest differences. Of course, it's hard to believe Charlie Kraiger is anything but extraordinary.
Are you active in the same field as her?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the neuroscience is
I'm a neuro.
I'm currently a visiting student at the University of Oxford, and I'm studying modern European history and comparative politics of the European Union.
You know, I mean, there are certainly things to do with political ideology we could also do if you want to do that, but it's sort of up to you, really.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. The classes are fundamentally different than the United States. They use the tutorial system instead of a classroom-style system, and that means that the classes that students take are a lot more individualized, and you work one-on-one with your tutor, as we would call them professors, and there is no large lecture or classroom setting.
I would have to put something in other than politics just because,
Okay, that's fine.
you know, that seemed reasonable for a history course.
We're currently at the University of Oxford in the United Kingdom. This is St. Catherine's College, my college here at Oxford. It's certainly different than Michigan State, where everybody on campus is either a student or a professor or an employee. At Oxford, because it's built into the city itself, you have a lot of businesses and tourists and people who just live in the city of Oxford. It's kind of nice in a way, though, because it reminds you where you are and that the place you are studying on a day-to-day basis, which becomes normal and almost habitual and sometimes slightly monotonous. It kind of makes you remember that, wow, you know, this is an amazing city with an amazing history, and people come from all over the world in order to be able to experience something that you're lucky enough to experience almost every day. Because Oxford is located so close to London, students go into the city all the time for long weekends and things, and to visit other friends, and some people are actually from the city itself, so they go home and visit their family. It really is a hub of internationalism, I would say. The buildings and the history of Britain is so much older that our vision of what is old is almost distorted, because what is so old is really young. It's all a matter of perspective. As a US citizen, talking globally, we have been given so much, and I think that that's not something that we should take for granted. And I think that it's important to help others who can't help themselves. There's this misconstrued conception that amazing things only happen from amazing people, and my theory has always been that amazing things always happen from ordinary people. I think that if you're passionate and interested in what you're doing, you will excel at it, and I think that you will succeed at it. And I think that if you don't succeed in it because you're passionate and because you are willing to keep trying, eventually you will succeed. The One campaign, it's the Campaign to Make Poverty History. It was co-founded by Bono in 2004. Their goal is to help eradicate extreme poverty in Africa, and extreme poverty is defined by the World Bank as generally a person who would live on less than $1 United States dollar a day, which also means that they're unable to feed themselves and a family if they have one. I've been involved with the One campaign, mostly online activism, signing petitions and things since high school, and then when I came to college, I was really interested in starting a campus group, and so myself, with the help of another friend, founded One MSU, which is a Michigan State University branch of the One campaign. And so our goal has been to educate students on issues of global poverty and how students can make a positive effect in that kind of area. Previous to having actually been to Africa, it's difficult to envision the starkness and the contrast of their living conditions versus our living conditions. And I think that while seeing pictures of a starving child or a child infected with HIV is heartbreaking through a textbook, but it's even more powerful when you're able to physically see that person and shake their hand and talk with them and ask them, what is their life like? What is the social stigma of living with HIV or AIDS? You know, how do they provide for their families? Are they farmers? How many, in the case of Rwanda specifically, how many brothers and sisters did they lose to the Rwandan genocide? The aspect of helping someone who can't help themselves is very, very fulfilling. I think that being able to help someone who is unable to feed their children, or who is unable to get water because their village doesn't have it, or who has malaria, or who needs bed nets, I think that need that is there is is really, it feels great when you're able to help that person with that need because they can't help themselves. And so I think that that feeling of self-worth even is greatly enhanced by helping someone else. I hope my legacy, if I should have one, would be one of positive impact, and that I really tried to help those around me, and I think that I really tried to look at the big picture and to make a positive impact, I guess I would just say.